Hey everybody, welcome to Field of Dreams on NCBNTT. I'm Steve David and I'm your host. Today I talk football with Point Fortin Civic Center, or Heritage Point Fortin Civic Center. And joining me on the set today is the General Manager, ALLYSON Williams. Welcome to the set, ALLYSON.
Thank you.
And EZEKIEL KESAR. Welcome to the set, EZEKIEL.
Yeah, man, thanks.
All right, EZEKIEL is our top striker, of course, and we brought him on so he can give us some ideas on all his plans for this coming season. So let me get with the General Manager, ALLYSON Williams. We're here to talk about, I know you guys have a big sponsorship. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, for many years, Civic FC has been struggling for support. And finally, Heritage came on board, which we are so blessed and thankful for giving us that opportunity to have that sponsorship in order to ensure that we develop the club from not only from the playing field, but from the structure in the sense that how we do things differently, how we manage things, how we give accountability so that we can withstand scrutiny for any type of examination or things like that. But more than that, with Heritage coming on board, which they are always part of the community itself has a greater interest in the club now, because based on that sponsorship, you are hearing more about the club. The youth program as well, parents are more inclined to send their children to the club because his sponsorship is a big sponsor, and the whole structure has changed and we have developed. So in a nutshell, Heritage coming on board will only augur well, not only for the club but for the community as well. And we thank Heritage so much for giving us that opportunity to develop the club and the community.
EZEKIEL, I remember you as a little kid, but we did a little commercial, so I'm going to ask them to run the commercial sometime during this episode, so the viewers can see you as a little kid. But no, you're not. No, you're grown. You're a big goal scorer. The team is depending on you to do so much. And how you feel playing for Civic Center, and more so with our sponsor coming on, how you feel about the club and how comfortable you are and how excited you are about this season?
Well, first of all, it's an honor to be back playing in my hometown. I think that this season will be different, but in a way more positive way, in the sense that as a player, you have an easier mind from the jump. You know that you have people backing you, and I'm so thankful to Heritage, because it's something that Point never had, right, to my recollection.
Never.
And it's a real big help. And the players are enthusiastic, the staff, the board, everybody is like in sync. And we owe it all up to Heritage at this point, because they kind of ease that financial strain that we have been under for so long. So I think that this season could be very, very fruitful, in the sense that we're starting on the right foot.
Well, speaking about the right foot, what foot you score all these goals with? I hope you're planning to be the top goal scorer in the league, as a matter of fact. And I know the coaches are depending on you to do some damage. And how you feel about, getting that opportunity, plus putting all that weight on you to carry this team?
I feel honored. I feel honored in the sense that there's so much expectation towards me. I never shy away from these kind of stuff. I have aspirations to make it even farther in football. So this is nothing new to me, really. It's not really much pressure, because this is my choice in life. I could go and work in the bank. I could go and phone a steel tip. But this is the path that I chose to take. So, it's just really an honor, really and truly, and I just want to take it one game at a time And as you say, I have aspirations to be the top goal scorer in the league.
And you have Uncle Steve to depend on.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. All right, Allison, you, I know you guys are spending some time at Heritage right now and in all the contract negotiations and stuff, but we have something planned. And this show is recorded the day before our big plans.
Yeah.
Tell us about a little plan, because I know what you're doing is brand new to all the football teams in Trinidad.
Yeah, this is the first time in Trinidad that I could remember that any club is going to be having a media day. What that will do, what this media day is intended to do, is to invite all the media houses to come down and to meet the players, mingle with the players, interview the players. The community themselves will have that opportunity to liaise and talk with them so that they can have an understanding with that. What that is intended to do is to create a stronger bond between the community and the players. So we expect that when that happens, that we will have a greater turnover in the turnstiles, right? Because while Heritage, and we're thankful for Heritage, some point in time we have to be self-sustainable. And if the turnstiles are moving, it means that there's a greater self-sufficiency for us to look at ourselves, and probably one day we could say this club belongs to us alone and nobody. But given the fact that Heritage is on board, again, creates that opportunity for us to showcase the team, showcase the players, most important, and to give a little background of Civic Center, because we have been in existence since 1968. So this is almost 55 years that we're doing this. And with that, we now need to start to look and see what we can do for ourselves. It also gives Heritage the opportunity that we can partner with them and show the public and the community the vast importance of them being on board, and to give them some, as we say, as the young people, they say, we're bigging them up. So we'll give them that opportunity to showcase themselves, and with that, that media day is expected to be a grand thing. And at the end of it, we expect that there's a greater bond between the players, the team, and the community, most of all, in order to go forward. Yeah?
Yeah, we're so lucky. I say we because I'm also a point boy and a civic center boy. But we're so lucky that we had these oil companies starting with UBOT, Shell, Petrotrin, no Heritage.
Yeah.
So it's so right that Heritage be the ones that come in to bail us out and support us in all these efforts. And hopefully, one day the team might be just called Heritage and not even Point Fortin Civic Center, just Point Fortin Heritage. But
Yeah.
So that's something down the road. But do you see a long-lasting relationship with Heritage?
Yeah. The relationship currently is very cordial, very, very professional. I might say, as I indicated early on, because of what we are doing now in order to restructure the whole club for accountability, transparency, in terms of how we budget, in terms of how we manage players, how we manage situations in the club. We see the help that we get from Heritage keeping us together for a long period of time. But I know that some point in time things, will always have an end.
Nothing lasts forever.
Nothing lasts forever. So with that kind of guidance that we get from Heritage, from the corporate department, the legal department, is something that we're building on in order to ensure that we become one, commercially viable, and besides going to the league and winning the league and going to CONCACAF and exposing the club, Heritage name will be outside there, even in the Caribbean, in the CONCACAF region, when we get there this year. So we've seen a long relationship, once we do what we have to do and we keep winning, because everybody loves a winner, so that we will continue to maintain that type of support and that partnership going forward. Yeah?
EZEKIEL, you know, Point has been waiting 50 years to see another Leroy Dillon or Warren Archibald walk in to the stadium, and it's not going to happen. And you the future, bud. And I know you are ready to take that mantle and run and be a household name in the neighborhood, I'm sure. So give me some ideas on what we expect to see, how you plan to do that, how you plan to make yourself, brand yourself in the community as the names like the Leroy Dillon and the Warren Archibald and so on and so on.
I think the first step, really and truly, is just getting the team to win. The team winning, the exposure that brings would obviously, you know, lead to names ringing and whatsoever. And in terms of my personal part, it's very, very simple. It's just scoring goals. You know, I think that no matter how you play, you could have an awful game. You score 2 goals and the team win, you know, you are the person that the people remember. So I feel like short term, game by game, just try to score each game. You know, I'm one step closer to being the next Leroy, the next Archibald, the next Steve David, you know. And then, well, long term, I think that leading Civic to a CONCACAF position or even a CONCACAF title, you know, that would be a major thing for Point, I think, as a community. A major, major thing. Because in my opinion, there's no other team in the league with the support system that Point has. Just generally, regardless of what they could say what they want, Point people will come out and support football. Right. And I feel like no other team could say the same. So I feel like once we could get the ball rolling and start winning from early, it could be a very, very great season for the club.
And I know you have aspirations to go on to bigger things, to be the big guy out there. Yeah. Because I know for a fact we are as good as any nation out there as for, you know, as far as how we play. Because when we go out there, we realize, well, we're not that far off.
Yeah.
And you had a little taste of CONCACAF last year. Mm-hmm. So how did that feel? And did you feel like you're out of place when you played that in that CONCACAF league?
No, not at all. It was an honor actually to reach that stage, because it was something as a kid growing up I used to watch and I used to admire so much, like, wow, CONCACAF football. You know, from playing in Point, playing in Sando, playing in Couva, to playing in St. Kitts, Dominica, Jamaica, you know, it's really an eye-opener. And I did fairly well, which was a surprise to me, because I felt like the level that we at right now in the country, you know, all those other countries surpass us in a sense. So I was a bit frightened in a sense, but as you say, when we reach out there, we realize that, wait, you know, it's right there, you know, we're not that far off, you know. So it's surely a feeling that I want to get back this season, and it will have even more significance if I could get it in Point, you know, with people that I've played football with and been around all my life. You know, you'll really be an honor.
So, Allison, if I was a community member, just wanting to know what's gonna take place, what day, what time, give me a little idea on all that.
Right.
What's happening.
Right. Again, with Heritage coming on board, we look at our management structure, and we compartmentalize the whole org structure, giving people responsibilities. And we have, right now, we have a media person who takes care of our platforms. So information on the platforms for games, where you want jerseys, when the games are going to play, all those fixtures, that's on the media platform, the Civic Center Facebook page and the Instagram. So that's where we have been reorganizing to create a greater impact, because I think in the past, we really did not give the community the opportunity to know what's happening within the club. Long time you could pick up our papers and see who playing today and whatnot. We no longer see those things because of the new technology. So we have to go with what is happening. So we have that. We're going to be placing a board in the community at Point Fortin when we have games. So even though you're just driving by and you're not on social media, you will see the game day and who we're playing. Those are home games. So that's the type of restructuring that we're doing from a managerial standpoint, given the fact that we need to be out there. We need to let people know what is happening in the club. Is no longer, we need to keep things close to our chest and say, well, Civic is that big, nobody don't need to know. You know, like Coca-Cola don't really need to advertise. But we need to do those things in order to create the change and the branding that we want to develop now, because we need to take the club in that direction, to rebrand the club so that we can have a greater understanding, one, how to do business, because it's not just a club. You have to run it like a business. And once you do that, then you will be able to get the people to understand this is serious business. Managing a club is a serious business now. It is, and it can really take you right to the top. We have seen it before. We have players who went out, and I mean, as Easy said just now, where he wants to go. We have to assist with that. And the only way we could do that is if we do what is right and follow what the big clubs have been doing. We may not get there tomorrow, but once we start, we will do that. And we're thanking the focus that Heritage has placed on us so that we can manage it properly to do that, which sometimes we go to them for some assistance in how we manage things. So that's basically where we go.
I know we have good communication with Heritage, that we can call them and we can, you know, have dialogue on anything, and which is a good thing. And at least we are in with them, and we listen to what they have to say to us, and to keep this thing going. Now I know our event is
tomorrow.
What's the date? Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Today actually, because it happened because we pre-taping, so it happened today.
It is happening today. Yeah.
Right. So I hope everybody had enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And so on and so on. But at this point, let's take a break. When we come back, I want you to get into more our technical staff or our players, and let people get more aware of that. Viewers, we'll be right back after the short break.
Change on TV to the song, boy, better stay calm, be cool.
Trinbago Heritage, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on NCBNTT Television Network.
The Santa Rosa First Peoples Community, in collaboration with the Center for Orientation and Integral Research, COIN, and the Caribbean United Against GBV, presents a 12-part series on gender-based violence intervention and prevention measures under the theme, Unmasking Myths, Promoting Peace. Tune in to NCBNTT television on Wednesday evenings at 7:50 p.m. You don't want to miss this.
Okay, welcome back, viewers. For the ones who are now tuning in, you're looking at Field of Dreams on NCBNTT. I'm Steve David, your host, and joining me in the set today is ALLYSON Williams, General Manager, Point Fortin Civic Center, and EZEKIEL KESAR, who is one of the top players in our league, as a matter of fact, not only our team. Okay, guys, Mr. GM, I know we have new faces. Like you talk about new structure and everything else, and I know we trying to get better every year, as everybody would do, and the players are doing the same. But we have some new faces in the group. As a supporter and a viewer, tell us a little bit about that.
Right. While the nucleus of the team is originally Point, and based on the talent that we have and where we want to go, there are times when you need to look outside to bring players. So we have invested in some new players, like we have Isaiah Hudson, and Humphrey that came in. We have Isaiah Thompson, which is who we affectionately call Messi. Yeah, we have Buffy, Ronald Charles. Those guys played with other teams, right? So we're looking, and then we have the #1 goalkeeper, which is the national goalkeeper, right? So they are some of the new finds that we brought in, and again, that opportunity was made available through Heritage because we could have afforded these players now because we want to raise the bar and move forward. So they are going to be part of the team now, the new faces that will assist the coach. And as we are on the technical staff, we have restructured our technical staff. Our head coach is the assistant national coach, which is Reynold Carrington, who everybody in Trinidad know because he has played with some of the top teams. He played outside in Portugal. He played CONCACAF with W Connections and so on. His assistant, Sean D'Souza, known as Laddie. Again, we have the national physio, which is Mr. John. And we have our strength and conditioning trainer, Mr. Bartholomew, right? Who have also had a vast amount of experience playing locally and internationally as well. So the new signing is to help put the coach vision and strategy to take the club to the next level into the CONCACAF, and we are here to support the coach. We don't get involved in technical issues. Whatever the coach feels that is going to work for him based on his competency and his skills, once we can meet the demands, we will do it. So, and that will augur well coming down the road for us with these new signings. So those guys is based on the selection of the coach, where he wants the team to be, how he's going to gel, how they are going to gel with those that we have already from Point Fortin. And that is only natural in all football around the world, that you bring players to fill certain gaps, to give you what you want, and to take the team to the next level. Yeah?
Okay, Ezekiel, how comfortable you are with the players and getting a shirt, earning one of those shirts every week, and does anybody help you more than others, or anything you want to tell me about the team and the structure of the team and so on and so on?
I think coming into this season, there's a good balance in this squad with experience and more or less inexperienced players. With the likes of Andre Etienne, Newton Hector, Stephen Joseph, Akim Humphrey. These are guys who I would say really excelled in seasons in the past at the highest level in Trinidad. And you know, they could only complement guys who coming up that may be in their first season, their second season, you know, the likes of Malik Tate, Brent Plenty, Kayam Headley and these guys who, you know, feeding off of those experienced players. I think the core of the team are fellas like Tyrell Emmanuel, myself, Isaiah Thompson, Luke Phillip, you know, these guys who you would say mid-20s, early 20s that, you know, really at a high level, I would say in Trinidad. You know, I felt like the preparation has been good so far. And, you know, it's really just to get the ball rolling. I feel like the vibes is good in the camp. And just eager to get out there, really.
So you ready for game day?
For sure.
Right now?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, good. Because we're not far away from game day. Game day is on the 26th, the first game?
Yeah.
Sunday.
At Mahika? Are we ready to jump on that?
Yeah.
Hopefully you, everybody will be healthy and we're ready to go.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mr. GM, we ready as far as preparation for the fans, the field, the community, the whatever?
Yeah, we're ready. And let me start with the facility itself. We all know we have a new Micah Sporting Complex. That, at this point in time in Trinidad and Tobago, outside of the National Stadium, is the best playing field that you could get. Well maintained, right? Yes, we have some little hiccups here, but in terms of preparation, as from a physical standpoint, the ground is ready. In terms of the administrative part of it, in terms of players being registered, contract signed, uploaded on the FIFA Connect, all of those things have been taken care of. Yes, we had our little hiccups, you know, in getting some of those things done, which was at times no fault of ours. But in terms of the team, uniforms, the preparation in terms of the training, as Izzy was talking about, with our equipment manager, Mr. Nelson, who everybody knows as Eddie Man, who has been doing yeoman service, because that's not an easy job to wash clothes every day, wash training gears, and so on. So we are ready in terms of game day. From that standpoint, it's left up to the coach now to prepare the guys mentally and to deal with the physical aspect and the technical aspect going into the game day on Sunday. We have played a few practice matches which will assist the coach in looking at who makes the first 11 or who competes for jerseys for that day. So in essence, we really prepared to deal with whoever coming to Point. So let me let people know one time, when you come to Point this year, come with a bag, because you're getting a bag of goals.
Is that right?
That's what we're going to do. We are making joke this year.
Well,
They're serious business.
I know Heritage colors is burgundy and gray.
Right.
And what you're wearing there now, which is what we played last
Burgundy
year,
and
is
yes.
not the right colors. Are we going to change that and make that get on board
Yeah,
with Heritage colors?
we are in the process of procuring the uniforms to meet the branding, because Heritage is very particular about the branding, and we have to comply with based on contractual arrangements. So it is going to happen. it will happen in order to ensure that we comply with what are the requirements of the sponsors.
Right.
So we are ready. We have our gray kits as the second kit, and the burgundy from Heritage brand is going to be our #1 kit. Yeah, so we're ready.
Ezekiel, you know, when I was your age and played football, from the time I smelled the locker room or I put on the shirt, I switch flips. I'm excited. I want to, you know, it's like holding back the horse to run. Do you feel that way? And if not, why? And if yes, why?
I share the same sentiments, but from even before the locker room, we talking the night before, we talking the session before. I am already pumped up. You know, when I wake up and it's game day, it's like the entire day is different. You just have a lighter feel to it, and like you just can't wait to reach to the stadium. You know, you can't wait to link up with your teammates and whatsoever, and you know, and prepare for the game. You know, I start playing the game in my head like 3-4 days before the game even comes. You know.
You got it.
So we on this program here, and all I studying right now is wow, the 26, all that preparation, all the hard preseason. It's finally behind us, and you know, we're ready to play. So yeah, I am
excited.
Yeah, very, very, very excited.
And you also live in the locker room, because from the locker room to your house is like 2 steps.
Yeah.
Which makes it a lot easier. Yeah. So so you plan to blow a point, and in so to speak, saying be a household name and make things big for yourself this season, I'm sure.
Yeah. That's surely the intention. Surely.
All right, General Manager. Let's get back a little bit on some of the things that we're doing. We have Media Day, when we invite all the medias.
All the media houses.
To
print
come
and televised media.
And as the community, can I take my child and come down to the stadium and take pictures with the players, or what can I do?
Just about everything you want to do. The community is invited. We have flyers. We have the loudspeaker going around to tell the community what's happening on that day. The only unfortunate thing is that it's on a school day.
Right.
So we can't bring out all the kids from school. But parents could make that decision to come and... So once you're there, even the adults, not only the children, could take photos with the players. The players are going to be running little skills, little drills, so that they can have an idea they're going to be in their kit, out in the field, at some point in time during the event, because the mayor is invited, the MP is invited, because, again, we don't want to disappoint Point Frontier this time. So we have to do everything on point. So people would be invited, again, as I said, to participate in all aspects and mingle with the players, get their autographs. So we need to let them know and treat our players like superstars, so that they can have that sense of belonging, a sense of pride. So you would know that because you would have been exposed to some of those things with some of the biggest players in the world. And that's what EZEKIEL need at this point in time. And we have to do our part as management to ensure that they are comfortable and meet those obligations that they have signed to in the contractual arrangement to take them to the next level. So yeah, so everybody have a part to play.
So if I coming out with my kids and stuff, I bring a cooler, bring food, I allowed to do that, or
you can
is
bring
there food to buy, or whatever?
All of that. You can bring your own food. We will have little snacks, little cutters to treat with the public, to show them that we appreciate them and we appreciate the support when the season starts. So, and the jerseys that we're going to be selling, these jerseys, so that we'll make it affordable, so that people could wear them. And as I said, once people see a whole crowd, I mean, like how we watch the cricket on Sunday, the whole place was blue in India, right? So we need to create that type of impact, so that the community in Trinidad would know that football, we are doing our part. And I guess all the other clubs are going to be doing something. But we are doing our part in Point Fortin to ensure that Heritage, Petroleum, Point Fortin Civic, FC are the leaders in football again, right up the road.
So how we plan to recreate the old days when that place was sold out and get all these people coming to our games? I mean, what's marketing strategy we have for that? Just to ride around with a loudspeaker or to put up posters and that's it?
Well, as I said earlier on, we have our social media platforms. We have the boards that will be going up. We have flyers we even have flyers for today's event, right? I think I could use that for today's event.
Right.
That we have in all the groceries and all the bars and just giving out to people. We had a game yesterday for our South Zone team that we're giving out flyers so that the community are well informed about the media day and so on. But the whole thing about bringing back those days, we need to start to win every game home.
Right.
So once we continue winning, which we're going to do, we will see a turnover in how things used to be and bringing back that glory days with all these guys who were household names.
In your eyes, of course, like I said, there's no Warren Archibald or Leroy Dillon showing up at that stadium. So, in your eyes, gives the viewers a couple players you think has that potential to get it there. I put you on the spot, right?
Keys.
I know Keezer is one of them, right?
Yeah, Keys, obviously.
There's a household name coming.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Keezer, I mean, from college league, everybody know Keezer with that type of potential. We have the Messi, Isaiah Thomas. Thompson or Thompson? Thompson, Isaiah Thompson.
And they call him Messi.
Call him
Just
Messi.
for a reason.
We have a gentleman there called Luke Phillip. He is unbelievable. He has the potential to be one of the greatest players in this era here as well. Right? Luke is sometimes he don't even know how much talent he has. Right. And that's where we have to come in with guys like you all to guide. We have Humphreys. Yeah? Humphrey is unbelievable when he's up front. I mean, when he's gelling with the guys and the chemistry is there, they're going to be unstoppable. Yeah? So we have those guys. We have Isaiah Hudson, the new guy. He has been looking really great in training sessions. We have young Tate, who is a defender, and Headley, Headley the left back. Those guys are destined for greatness. And once we have Hector, who have played immensely around this country to guide and coach and nurture those guys, I think it's only left up to them. So those are the guys that we see in that would be earmarked to take us to our next Leroy Dillon and you know, I mean, easiest making the point where he wants to go, and that is what you have to live. You have to live your dream, and that's his dream, man. And I hope all the guys will take it there. But there are serious potentials on that team to take us where we want to go.
And we're encouraging the viewers to come out
Sunday
and look, right?
Yeah, have a look at the team, man.
And the 26th is when we start.
The 26th, 6 p.m. at Mahika Sporting Complex, formerly Mahika Oval, the home of Point Fortin Civic FC.
All right, we need to take a break.
Yeah.
When we come back, we will get into some more details.
Yeah,
Viewers will be right back after the short break.
Hi, I am Nigel. Quote Me Today is your daily motivational segment to start your day right. Join me Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. right here on NCBN. Remember, wake up with a smile. Today is your day.
That's why when we fetting, we just bet God when we jamming, we just jam down when we drinking, man is strong from a pop a bottle right now when we betting, we just bet God when we jamming, we just jam down when we drinking, man is strong from a pop a bottle, push up your hand.
Trinbago Heritage, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on NCBNTT Television Network.
Running there. Okay, welcome back, viewers. Before, you know what? Let's talk about some of our future plans as well. And I say ours because, of course, I bleed civic, heritage civic. I bleed that, and I'm from Point, and I always pick up Point, and Point is always mentioned on this show as long as I am the host, and that wouldn't stop. But I know Heritage is very concerned and very interested in us having a youth program and women's program. So, and I know that's on the drawing board to make start in January. So tell us a little bit about that youth program.
Yeah.
And moving forward.
Right. We have gone and strategized to look at succession planning. And in succession planning, we have continued. We have always had a youth program, but there's a greater emphasis now to ensure that we have the age group under 13, under 15, under 17, that we can develop those players in line with the style of playing football, so that when we use those as the feeder to move up onto the bigger teams, so that we have one common structure and the players are familiar with those things. So the youth program has been developed. It is on paper. It's ongoing. We, as a matter of fact, we have won the under 18 in the, when was the professional league. We won that, and we came second and third in the younger group, age groups, 13 and 15. So we have always been there with our youth program. So we are going to be using that as a greater feed now with a structure going forward. The ladies program is also being developed. We had a ladies team before. We had some challenges with that, but that ladies team is going to be revamped with a greater focus on how we get the community, going to the schools, identifying players, young girls that would be part of this new women's team so that we could start competing when the competition starts. So basically, that's where we are, and everything is already on the drawing board and packaged so that we can start to run with it. As a matter of fact, we have identified coaches for all these age groups with their technical staff. So that is already in place. So we're going full speed ahead in ensuring that that comes off, because as you mentioned earlier, this is a prime focus for heritage because we must have continuity. And while we have very young players on the professional team or the premier team, those age groups is between 18 and 25. Basically, that's the nucleus of the age group, right, Kees?
Yeah.
That we have with a few senior players assisting us. So we are going to be ensuring that that takes priority in order to fulfill the goals of the club for continuity.
Kisa, what farm group of coming through? What stage or what rank did you come through, or what format did you come through when you were younger?
Well, I started football at roughly 7-8 years with CIVIC's Academy,
Okay.
under the likes of Miss Bridget and Kochi.
Right.
And I came right up from South Zone, those timings, to Republic Cup, to when the Pro League had restarted, and when CIVIC had rejoined the Pro League in 2013.
Right.
The requirements where you have to have under 13, 15, 17, 14, 16, 18. Yeah, I went straight up in the ranks as well, from 13, under 14, under 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, right up the road really with CIVIC.
So you see, that's perfect. I asked him a question, but it was perfect. That you were with us from since
Yeah.
all the way to now,
Yeah.
and we still going, and you still have more to go.
Yeah.
And then after that, you can get into the coaching ranks and you come and back and things. So that's good. So the plan for the youth program, of course, is in January we start with our youth program.
Yeah, January we go into the program, into competitions as well, so that we keep every component of the footballing structure active.
Right.
And that is what we want to do. We're even looking at when the football season takes a break, that we create our own competition so that we can invite other youth academies, not only from in Point Fontaine, because there's a number of youth academies in Point Fontaine, but outside of Point Fontaine that could join in and keep the football going right through, because the days when football playing and it stopped, that's gone. That's long gone, because even with the bigger clubs, when the football season, right after they probably get a week or so, and they're into pre-season training all over the world. So we need to continue so that when the season starts, we don't look, haggard and lackadaisical. We already warmed and ready to go. Yeah?
You must have a hell of a technical director, man. Who's your technical director?
Well, we're looking for one right now.
But seriously, we have the youth program, and we also have a South Zone.
South Zone team.
Say a little bit about that.
Our South Zone team has been doing excellent. We came second. We lose the league by 1 point last season. Right. 1 point. And right now we are competing in the knockout. We've played 2 games, draw 1, and last night we won 6-2. I think it's 6-2. So we go in guns in the South Zone. So we're keeping all the age groups, all the different components of the civic structure active. And again, those players that in the South Zone team are the nucleus or the battery of players that we use to move up to the professional team. And it's a hell of a competition because everybody wants to come up. we had screening for the professional league with Carrington Hippo. And for 2 days, we had over 100 and something players competing, coming for screening. I think the first day was about like 40 something, and the next day we had about 60 something players coming in to try to play and impress the coach for selection. So that is why we have to be mindful that we need to keep it going. We have the talent, but what do we do to keep people interested? We don't want people just saying, but I think I have no opportunity, or I have to go Port of Spain, or I have to go San Fernando to look for a team, when we have the best team in Trinidad right here. Yeah? Which is Point Fountain Civic FC. Heritage Point Fountain Civic FC.
KESAR, you know, myself as a young boy growing up, I always look at the road ahead to see these players who excelling in what they do, and I always look at the ones who have fallen by the wayside in their bad habits and what they do. And do you do that right now, or does that ever happen to you?
Yeah, surely. Playing football all my life, obviously I've played with a lot of guys. So, you know, you often see that there's guys with a lot of talent, but they probably don't have the discipline to go with the talent, so, you know, they end up falling off into something else. You know, it's our guys that end up being product of the community, you know, and they just can't get the negativity out of them, and, you know, they fall at the wayside. It's our guys that, you know, you felt like testing for greatness, but just never got the right opportunities, fell by the wayside, you know, and then it had the small percentage that just pushed through and reached to the top. So, you know, statistically, everybody can't make it, and we know that there's only a few that you could really say, you know, made it, and, you know, but I think that you have to set a standard for yourself. So if you feel like making a pro league team is quote unquote making it for you, and you could feel accomplished by that, then by all means, you know, if you feel like making a national team is the highest that you would like to reach, then by all means, you know, you can really measure success on someone else's meter, you know, because I know it have one or two guys that on the team right now that I feel like, you know, this is the highest they have ever been, and I could see the joy, I could see the passion every day they come out to train, they're enthusiastic, you know. It's our guys want to play outside, and I could see that they're not stopping, you know, as the GM mentioned, we have the national goalkeeper, Denzel Smith. What a player he is. And day by day, you see that he's still grounded, he's still willing to work, you know. He's not coming and he decided not to train today because he's the national keeper, you know. Every day he comes out and works on his craft. And, you know, it could only be an example for the up and coming.
No, what's your plans looking ahead for national player? Because when I got in the national team, I was 19 going to 20, and then I imagined that I said I was going to play until I'm 25. That's how bad it was back in the day. You think 25 is old, but it's not. Now people play until 35 or 40. So what is your plans for making it to national team?
Well, personally, I felt like I haven't done enough to really warrant a national call-up. You know, football is nowadays really based on stats. You know, jump high, jump low. That's what people really judge your performance by, judge how good you are. You know, so I feel like this season my numbers had to be better. And, you know, that's the only how I could give myself a viable chance, really, you know. So that's where I going to look into this season, to try to get the numbers up, you know, to really fight for a spot, because I feel like Civic is in the rebranding stage, and you know we go in places, and I feel like it's similar with the national team. You could see that all the household names more or less falling by the wayside now, and you know their time kind of coming to an end, and you're seeing a rise in the younger guys, you know, players I would have played with like Nathaniel James and Real Gill and them. Those are the guys who are household names on the national team now. So I think now is the best time to really make the team and try to get a foot in there.
I never really paid real attention to you in coming up, but I am seeing you now. I am seeing you making that big stride, and I think this is the time for us to open the gate for you to run, and that we have to give you that opportunity. But I am seeing a lot potential in you that you could make this thing happen. This year or next year, in a couple of years, I'm saying, your timeline, make it quick. A couple of years, I should be national. All right, Mr. General Manager, future plans for our kids. You guys reached to that yet, or that's still under the drawing board?
No, as I indicated earlier on with the youth program, as we say, our whole technical staff, being directed by the TD, the technical director, has given us that type of a program to be completed, which was done. So we're going straight into the forecast that was projected for us as it relates to the youth and women program. Yeah? The thing about it is that when things are now evolving and getting off the ground, you have a lot of teething to do. You don't always get it right, but you must be persistent. I mean, we have been in football for the longest while, so there is some value that we're going to bring to the youths, into the community, around this football. Nothing brings attention and joy and happiness than sports, whatever it is, and that is what we intend to do. And it also creates the opportunity for people to be comfortable in life, right? It's not everybody's going to make it, but if you do make it, you can send a rippling effect through your community, as what a number of our past players have done, because, I mean, we just had a highway named Warren Archibald and Leroy Dillon Highway. I mean, that joy that comes from just having that says a lot. And so we're going to be continuing to develop the youth program, encourage the parents to go to the schools. As a matter of fact, we're using past players and current players as ambassadors, going out there and identifying players. So all of that is where we are at this point in time.
You know what's good about that is our sponsor is pushing for us to have, and they're going to sponsor our youth program and our women's program.
Yeah.
So that is even big kudos to the sponsor.
Yeah.
And good reason why we should push it and make that happen.
And we can't quit. We have to make it happen.
Right.
Must make it happen.
And we always had a youth program, but now we have money into our youth program.
Yeah. Which
should make it. And so that's a word out there to the viewers from Point Fortin and surrounding areas. Coming soon. The youth program starts in January on the 11, under 14, under 16, under 19, and a women's program. And then we have, of course, the South Zone, the feeder team. All right, closing remarks. Any closing remarks, Mr. General Manager?
Again, we thank Heritage tremendously for partnering with us and giving us that support to look at things differently, to restructure the whole club professionally with professionals, accountants, marketing personnel. It's not that you used to do it and you feel you could do it. but you need to be competent, you need to be qualified now to be part of this structure. While we have a mixture of experience and so on, but that is where we're heading, and that's where it's going to be, yeah, in order to make this club rise and rebrand.
All right, good. I want to thank you guys for being here, Allison and EZEKIEL. I appreciate you guys. I'm looking forward to continue to work with you guys this season, and we're doing big things. So thank you again for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Viewers, thank you for tuning in every Tuesday night. And NCBNTT, thanks for the opportunity. We do have a Facebook page. You can check us out. And we do have an email address, feelerdreamstt@gmail.com, where you can drop us a line. This show has ended. This is Allison Williams. This is EZEKIEL KESAR, and I'm Steve David. See you next Tuesday night. Good night.